Welcome everybody. We're back home. We're back
We're
home,
back.
separated.
I know. I know. We've been gone. We've been out of our houses for months at this point.
Months. Yeah, we did 3 straight
Months.
months of recording.
Months.
Yeah.
We just rented a place. We took time. We took work off for 3 months. That's right. That's right.
So yeah, essentially what we're doing, we're gonna talk about, reflect on our experience. We did our whole 5 years of Tarqaron celebration in person. We got an Airbnb for only about 3 days, but we made content that lasted us for a couple months. So
Yeah.
this will be
Pretty
posted
good. Pretty good.
after all that has been posted. So we're not gonna do the traditional Tarkaron podcast, really super current event stuff, but we will talk about our experience and everything we recorded. Since now we can, it won't spoil anything. There might be just a
Yeah.
couple episodes of Micronesia from in person left at this point, but no biggie. You already know what's
No
coming
big.
with that.
Yeah.
All right, Alec, how do you feel about the experience?
The experience. It was a lot of fun. Getting to actually like interact with you in person. It was it was good. It was finally it was nice to actually like look over and you're right there, and I could like look and talk to you like in front of a camera and actually like face you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun. That was cool. Yeah, just being able to not worry so much about like the foibles and the technicalities, the hiccups and such of
Yeah, it was nice
technology.
because
So yeah,
if we had any issues, it wouldn't really matter so much because we're in person. We would still be in sync, like when we're watching the episodes and whatnot. But we didn't have any. We really didn't have any technical issues, luckily. So it was
yeah.
just smooth sailing for the most part.
I'm glad the place we were at had pretty good Wi-Fi. It was
Yeah.
good enough to be able to get through what we did and watch what we did and such.
I mean, I had a
So
horrendous start though. I like as I'm about to
yeah, it was
leave
that was
there. I just
very
started my
unfortunate.
trip, half hour in on my road trip, and my car gave me problems I've been dealing with for some time now, overheating problems, and just I literally was like, I went to a mechanic and I was like, I want to. He didn't get to look at it. He didn't have time to look at it in depth, but I was like, he just look at it to reassure me because like I have a 4.5 hour drive to do here. Don't want it to overheat. God forbid it overheats on the way. All right,
I know.
but
I love.
sure enough, it did, and so
Yeah,
lost a couple hours that way. But I was able to switch out, go back, and borrow my brother's car, which doesn't have air conditioning. Not ideal, but very grateful for that.
it
To
was
have that as an
it was
option.
kind of hot that day too, if memory serves. It was
Yeah, I
kind of a
was
warm
sweating.
day, so
I
that
was
was
sweating,
that was too bad.
and
But
it also sucked because it kind of pushed me back so that I would like directly hit the most traffic when I would have avoided probably a good amount of it.
yeah,
Um, but also just imagining how much worse it could have been is not great because I could have literally been 3 hours into that trip when that happened as well, and that
yeah.
would
So it's
have
like,
been
what do you
horrible.
what? It's like, what do you do? You then have to like
I have no
tow.
idea what
Like,
I
how
would
do
have
you even
done.
do? Yeah,
It would
yeah.
have
That
cost
would have
me a
been
fortune, whatever it
yeah,
was. And
yeah.
then
It
I
would have
don't
been horrible.
know. I wouldn't even be able to get there till like the next day, probably at that point. It's
Yeah,
like
seriously. That would have been just
but
the
even
worst.
still, like, just like the way I had to drive there, I had to go like on bridges under tunnels, like crazy traffic. Like I could not think of any ideal spot for me to pull over along that trip anywhere.
Yeah. Did you have to like go through the city on your route
Yeah,
pretty much, or go through New
essentially,
York? Yeah.
like through the bridge. Like I didn't have to go straight through, but
Hmm.
a lot of parkways and annoyingly busy. Like they added time, traffic added a lot of
Yeah.
time onto mine, so
Yeah.
I ended up having a much longer drive than anticipated. But got there the first day,
Good.
thankfully, and then we were able to get into it. But
Yeah. Yeah. We I arrived there first. It wasn't too bad for me. It was pretty smooth, all things considered, honestly. Actually both ways it was pretty breezy trip. Like, I think memory serves, basically kind of once I got into Connecticut. I think Hartford traffic started to get a little bit, more congested when I went through there, but that was, to be expected basically. But then all the way through the rest of it, it was just totally fine.
Hmm.
But yeah,
In
it was cool.
retrospect, in retrospect, I wish we had done as our first video, done a little room tour situation, apartment tour would have been nice. Because
Yeah, it would have been kind of nice.
it was a nice little place, spacious
Yeah, well, it was
for
nice. I would say it was a nice big place.
yeah.
Actually, it was pretty sizable. It was decently sizable. Like, I would say the floor space is about probably the size of the floor space of the house that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
I would estimate that. Like, it might have even been like a tad bigger. Like, it was a pretty decently sized apartment, and for a very modest price, I would say, for us to rent it. So, yeah, it was really nice. I mean, it had like all these little nooks and crannies. It had like that. The sunroom was basically like just a nice little sitting room. It was nice.
Yeah,
It was kind of nice in there in the evenings. We didn't spend a whole lot of time there outside of our first night, but
that was
it's
we
still
used it
kind of
for
a nice
one
little spot.
video, the
Yeah.
Q&A video we did in there.
Hmm.
Every other video
Hmm.
we then moved into the main couch and did it
Yeah.
from there for the most part. We
Yeah.
had set up the wheel in the other little area. It was all pretty
Hmm.
connected. There's like doors for every room,
Yeah. It was weird. That was kind of the one weird part, is that, yeah, there was like the room you were staying in had like three doors. It had like a door into the living room, a door into the hallway, a door into the
Mhm.
like dining room. It was very bizarre, like
Yeah.
how that was set up.
And the way, like, there's someone below us,
Mm.
and is there someone above us too, or is it just?
So I think, yes, I think there
I think
was.
there
I don't
is.
know if there was anybody currently there, but was an apartment above ours as well. But I don't know how they got up there, if there was anybody living up there. So
Yeah,
they just didn't leave.
yeah. But
Because
there's all,
there's there. I think the only other way that I can think of they would do is through the kind of the rear entrance. I think might have been another way up there through that. That's the only thing I could think of. But
but you kept getting spooked when you would hear the door downstairs
every time,
because it sounds like
every
it's
single
right
time
there,
it would,
coming right into our place.
because it literally kind of was. So like, this to me felt like it was a modified house. Like it maybe was built always with the intention of being apartments, but like it did kind of feel like it was a modified house in
Right.
some ways.
Easily
But
could have been. Just add those little annoying
yeah,
locks on there, and then
yeah,
you basically call it a day there.
yeah,
Because, yeah, that was like my biggest concern going into it, is there were like, for the most part, positive reviews. There were like a couple complaints that like there was some noise issues a couple times they went in, like it was too noisy. But
mm,
we didn't really deal with that, You just hear people when they come
no,
in. There wasn't like, but I feel like that was, I don't know if that was the same Airbnb I saw that was like, they felt like they heard a domestic dispute going on, like people yelling at each other.
yeah. I
But
can understand that. There was a girl I was seeing for a while where they literally every time the people downstairs talked to each other, it sounded like a domestic was happening.
yeah.
And maybe there was. I don't know. It was weird because at her apartment, but I don't have to deal with that anymore, thankfully. So that was very stressful. Every time I go over and visit her, it'd just be like, oh my God, the people down below you are just like constantly fighting. Like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
But like we had a lot of food delivered there and stuff. But when I
Mm,
went down one time, there was a couple just like chilling on the porch. I'm like, oh hey, what's going on? All right, they're just chilling.
yeah,
But yeah, it was nice. It was very nice.
yeah, definitely.
And we had there was a little convenience store next right nearby.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. This was an entertaining little thing. Yeah, so first night we were there, just like, yeah, let's go get some like snacks to like before we were gonna watch our wheelspin movie, and then we were like, let's go get some before we watch that, let's go like get some little snacks or something before we do that. So
Hmm.
yeah, we hit up a convenience store most of the time I would hit up like gas stations, but this one was like ridiculously close. I was like, sure, why not? Let's hit it up. It's like it's still open. It was like 10:30 or something on a Sunday, and it was still open. And yeah, we went in there, and this is the first time I've ever seen this in my life. But nothing was priced.
Yeah. And it's not
And,
usually a good sign.
not usually a good sign, but I'm gonna be honest, that stuff didn't cost as much as I was expecting at all. It was actually pretty. I think I got like a. I honestly I picked this up just to figure out, like, I just want to know how much this is, because like this is ridiculous to me that they're selling like an Oreo pack, but it's like I don't know how much it costs. The one of the only things in the whole store that was priced was like a small little rack of belts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like high quality leather, $10.
That's right.
And I was like, what?
But you see a full pack of Oreos, any other convenience store, I'm
Yeah.
expecting it to be like a solid $6 at least.
6 or more, and I think I got it for like I think it was like 4. I think it ended up being under $5.
Yeah, I thought it was like 3
Which was
something,
insane.
but I could be
It
wrong.
was insane. I should have gotten a receipt, because like, but yeah, it was ridiculously inexpensive, and I was expecting that to be like $10.
It was all pretty
Like, I'm in
affordable.
Connecticut. Connecticut's got like high taxes, high sales tax and stuff, so I was expecting it to just destroy my
I was
wallet.
gonna
Just,
say I've
and I
never
was
been
like,
to
shit, it's for
Connecticut,
the
so
meme,
I don't
but
know. I don't know what the prices are like in Connecticut.
yeah, well, those prices were pretty nice. That place was also shockingly busy for it being like 10:30. There was like 2 other groups in there. There was like some little kids in there. I was like, this is like okay, it's like beginning of the
It's the
summer, I
spot.
guess, but I was like, it is. I guess it's the spot. There was a lot of like, paraphernalia there, so I think that was probably would, some people are looking for their late night habit
Mhm.
to get hooked up a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah, so
overall,
we didn't mention it
pretty nice.
when we came in, but yeah, the Airbnb we got was in Connecticut, because I essentially went on a website that's supposed to give you the halfway point between 2 locations. Like, what's the clearest halfway point? And it was basically like New Haven, Connecticut, is what it told me. And so ended up somewhere around there, but it ended up being a much longer drive for me, even though
You had to deal with. So I think geographically, I think it is basically the same, but I have to deal. It was almost a complete straight shot for me.
yeah.
Like, I basically just went, like, it was just, I basically hit, I went down, what would it be? I went down 91, I guess it would be. Yeah, it'd be I went down 91, like all the way down to, and then I hit 95, and then it was just like, I was there basically, it was super easy. So, and yeah, it was basically like 3 hours for me, like almost flat, 3 hours flat. So,
So I mean, but yeah, I don't really drive out of state often. I mean, I can't even trust my car to do that much.
yeah,
So
that was a dicey, dangerous situation there.
so I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Could have been a lot worse with that. But
yeah,
so the first night we only had time to do a couple videos because our time got cut a little short, and because the Q&A took so long. It was like 2.5 hours just in the Q&A video.
that was a lot. That was fun. The time really did kind of. I mean, it was cool because we get to sort of see the time passing. We literally get to like watch the. the sun
Rusty
set.
commented that
cool.
without me even saying anything when I talked to him about it. He was like, it was funny,
Yeah.
you could see the passage of time behind you, like from day to night in the
Super
open window.
cool.
But
yeah,
so we did that one, and then we did a chance time spin into watching the movie, which we made mostly through, and then fell asleep towards the end. But
yeah, you fell asleep. I watched the whole way through, but then all of a sudden it was like I looked over and I was like, uh-oh.
okay, you told me you fell asleep afterwards.
No, I fell asleep afterwards. Because I paused the movie, because you fell asleep, and then I fell asleep in the chair, like the chair I was. I see. this is my thing. I fall asleep on any piece of furniture if it's like late enough at night and my eyes close, I'm falling asleep on that whatever that is. It's a chair, doesn't matter. I'm falling asleep. So,
Um,
yeah.
but so yeah, the videos aren't exactly posted in the order we recorded them exactly. But yeah, that was the order we did it, because we wanted to spin the wheel and be able to review, so we could review it the following day.
Yep.
So we watched
Which we
Mission
did.
Impossible. Yeah, we could
Yeah.
have been watching the Disney holiday sing along as well. It was really, you never know
I
what
mean,
you're gonna
that we
get.
probably would have both fallen asleep to that. Let's
I
be
don't know. That would
honest.
have kept
Or
me
we
up.
would have
I'd
been
have to sing
singing.
along.
Or
Yeah,
would have been, you'd have to sing.
yeah. It's obligatory singing along for the
Yeah.
holiday songs. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then the next day, because we had certain priority videos we wanted to get done that we knew we needed to get done, and then we wanted to do as much Survivor as possible. You know, originally going into the trip, I was like, I wanted to do like one of every video series we do, but quickly realized that there would not be enough time for that, especially with Survivor, because
Yeah.
if we didn't do any Survivor, there might have been time for that.
Yeah.
Just like if we didn't do the other stuff, there might have been time for a whole season of Survivor. But when you mix both, you know, you
Right.
got to you got to prioritize. But so we did
Yeah, for sure.
we made sure to do the Tarqaron All Stars simulation. We did that one. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun in person.
It was a lot of fun. It was great fun, in
Very
fact. It was the
interesting.
best. It was the most fun for me for a lot of reasons.
Mhm. And then we finished the
yeah.
Tarqaron cards as well. So those were the two main ones we needed to make sure we got done, because it was going to be the grand finale of these Tarqaron cards, wave version 4, wave 3,
Wave 3.
the unveiling of the poster and everything. So that was cool. Got to do that in
Good stuff.
person as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are two chunky
Good
videos
times.
right there. Like all of our prioritized videos were all long ones. Like the Q&A one, All Stars, the cards. These are all two
Yeah, 2 hour
hour long videos about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So big beefy time commitments for sure. And then we got through a ton of Survivor. We pretty much after that we pretty much focused almost exclusively on Survivor.
yeah. So I don't know exactly how many we watched per day, but by the end of it all, we had gotten through 9 episodes. And I was just thinking, if we had one more day, we would be able to finish the whole season for sure.
Yeah.
We're just that
definitely.
close, pretty much. We're like five or 6 episodes off. So,
Yeah.
but it was cool. It was cool.
I think we was 3, and then I think, if memory serves, it could be wrong about this, but I think we watched 3 and then we watched 6 from memory. So
Yeah.
we definitely watched a lot of Survivor. The what was it? Would be the 3rd day we were there. I guess it would be, yeah, the second full day we were there, but the 3rd day we were there.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention also when we went to do Tarqaron All Stars at first, I did a little bait and switch, and I got the custom Funko Pops out.
Yeah.
So
that's good stuff. Yeah, mine's out in the other room still, but currently doing a little bit of cleaning and rearranging. To some degree. I'm always in that state, but now I seriously have to prioritize that because my parents are gone in like a month. So, all that stuff's got to come out of my house. So my parents' house, their old house, whatever. Anyway,
I'm about to have a whole.
that was a big surprise.
Yeah, I wanted to time it that way so that it would, like, I didn't even want you to see that I had anything. So it was out in the other room, you know.
Yeah, you had like a box, but I literally didn't even, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, yeah, he's got like another box or whatever. And so it probably has something in it. I don't know. Like legitimately, I didn't even think you have this thing that you're gonna surprise me with. I thought it was just like a box of.
Always got something
know
cooking. Always got something working on. But so yeah, I had this planned for a while too, because I knew Todd had this pop shop that he did. I had that plan
It's
for a
very
while. I wanted to
Yeah.
initially time it so that I'd be able to mail it to you when we do the Survivor China review. Uh,
Mm.
and this was before we had really started thinking about realistically doing the meetup, Airbnb, and everything. But then
Hmm.
when that happened, I'm like, okay, the timing is actually really working out. It's aligning here, where we'll be able to finish Survivor China, and then when we meet up, we'll be doing the next season. So I could do it right then. It'd be perfect. So that's what we
Mm.
did.
Hmm.
That's what we did.
So also on the second day, this is the day we also took time to play the Survivor, the game on the Wii.
Yep, the game that Rusty
We get
gifted me once upon a time,
yeah,
putting it to
yeah. We get
use.
to we get to take a good look at Tina.
take, take a good look at Tina.
Yeah, take a good look at Tina. This is like, man, Jeff's just phoning it in there.
Yeah, so Rusty was telling me about the PlayStation 5 game, and in
Yeah.
some ways it is like it's still crappy, but it
Yeah.
has other elements to it at least. Like you
Oh,
can
okay.
actually
Does it have like a social?
yeah, you can actually try to like say little things and try to
Oh,
influence the
okay.
vote, and there's an actual vote and stuff.
That's kind of fun.
But
At least it's
yeah.
an actual vote. It's probably still horrible, but
Yeah, it's still horrible. I think he said there's no voice acting whatsoever. like
oh, that's so
and
awkward.
they'll just make like noises and stuff. But
Like the Lego games.
yeah,
It's like the
yeah.
oh, hey, oh, it's like it becomes weirdly offensive actually when you when you do that.
But
Um,
yeah, it's like at least they kind of half-assed the actual Survivor game, have a social element to it. But
it's just a horrible, awful mini game collection.
just looking
Shovelware.
from the back of the box, they still look like it's just awful mini games. But I haven't watched any gameplay of it or played it yet, so we'll see. But
take a good look at Tina.
but he did say that there are some things in it, so we're not able to do it just yet. We'll probably
Okay.
save that till much later down the line. I mean, it's a 2023 game, so it might be
Yeah.
years off from that. But
Yeah, but hey, at least Survivor on Wii had Willard's the Willard
hidden
immunity
immunity,
idol.
or team immunity idol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. But yeah, it couldn't even get the likenesses of anybody. You know, it's just random
Yeah.
survivors' names with like random character models that are unrelated.
Except for Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
His weird, creepy,
stirring his
creepy
cauldron,
smarmy
yeah.
looking face. He's stirring his cauldron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
You gotta play it. You know, you just gotta. I feel
Yeah.
like it's required playing material for Survivor fans just to know how
bad it's
insulted you
been.
should be on.
How insulted you should be. Yeah, for real. I'm sure if did CBS have like a bunch of them? Do they have like an Amazing Race video game?
There
They had
is an Amazing Race. I do remember
Yeah.
seeing that once upon a time on the Wii as well. The Amazing
Yeah.
Race. I'm sure that's just
Yeah,
mini
oh, yeah.
games also.
I'm sure that's just as bad.
I wonder if they have
Yeah.
Phil Kogan do some voice lines as well. You know.
That'd be nice. They'd probably like a little deal, like whatever these shovelware companies are like. Yeah, we'll make these CBS like show games. And,
Well, yeah, because they have like the Price
They
is
could
Right and stuff.
be
Right?
eliminated. They could. Here's a pit stop on the next part of this race, and they could be eliminated.
that is not. You watch an Australian Amazing Race? That's not.
He is Australian.
That's not
He
how
is.
he sounds.
Yeah, it's not how he sounds at
No,
all, but
it's
he is
not.
Australian. It is no, he does have an Australian accent, but I did the most stereotypical Australian. I did like Crocodile Dundee, and he does not sound like that. That was very much a put on.
offensive.
He doesn't sound like that. It was offensive. I'm sorry to all the Aussie fans that we have,
But there is no.
but not the Aussie fans.
There is no Big Brother game that I know of, though. No Big Brother video game. They do. CBS is like Price is Right, right? I knew they have that video game as well, but
Well, that one
game
makes
shows
a lot
like
of
that,
sense.
yeah, like they lend themselves,
Yeah.
even if they're crappy, like the old, Family Feud, Jeopardy games. Like you can tell
Yeah.
they're crappy, but it's like the format lends itself so you still have fun with them.
Yeah, Jeopardy. I think the thing that has had the best life over time is probably Wheel of Fortune. Those games actually
Yeah,
have looked over the years have always looked pretty decent as in terms of far as like
I
low
mean,
budget
yeah,
like recreations of game shows. They actually for the most part like PS1 had Vanna White. They've used Pat and Vanna in sometimes, so
yeah. I mean, if you look at the
they're
newer
horrible
ones, they look
abomination
weird.
forms.
Yeah, like 3D models,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, those games are like they translate perfectly to video games. It's very
There's
simple.
even yeah, even sometimes with the limited avatars and like Wheel of Fortune is. I remember there was I think the Game Grumps Let's Play with Weird Al, and Weird Al commented, "Look at us, they're three identical strangers."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
They're even in the ways they can make them low effort, they do still make them low effort. It's just
yeah,
they're able to be better games because that's the format. The Survivor does not lend
yeah.
itself to that. It's a lot more depth
No,
to it,
no,
and you can't just do a mini game compilation and you'll be happy with it. That's not how that works.
yeah.
Not even good mini
But
games.
no, but that was still fun. It was still fun to do that.
It was fun, yeah,
Um,
fun to make fun of, but
mhm.
yeah, it's sad because I mean I like mini games, even like some crappy mini game compilation games I can get down with, but these weren't even like fun mini games. You could at least make some
Yeah,
fun mini games and I can get down with it. It's not
yeah.
Survivor. Like Survivor is not like
No,
all challenges and that's all that matters. It's never been the case, but yeah. So we played Survivor. We did play some Smash Bros as well on our
yeah,
downtime. So
yeah. Kicking my hind tail
just
repeatedly. It was great. It was fun. No, it was great. I always have a good time playing Smash with you because even though I'm always pretty much gonna lose, I still have a good time. And I give you a run for your money every so often.
and I feel like
Um,
last time we were in person, were we not playing Smash 4 when we were in
playing Smash 4 on
Paxi's
Wii U.
hotel room?
Yeah. It was cool. I remember we made Mii's of all of the Ultimate gamers and had them fight each other. We had like Pete
Which
versus
one's
Johnny
best? Yeah.
versus Gamester. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. What else
I
did we
like
do?
the squad strike method. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. I had never really played squad strike before, but that was actually super fun to do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Smash is one of those games that never gets old for me. I love playing it.
yeah,
I've got like 900 hours in it at this point, but
yeah. I like I don't really get tired of either. I mean, like I hadn't played it in a very long time, but like I don't really get tired of it either. That's why I even suggested the like last night we were there. After we'll go into what we had done that night, but even after that, I was like, "Do you want to just like play some more of that for like an hour or so before we go to bed?" And you're like, "Yep." So
it's one of those things
yeah,
where even if you get tired of like the standard 1v1s or whatever, there's always so many other options you can do. You can make your own game within the game. That's one of those things you can customize so much and do so many different modes. So
yeah,
it's like there's so
that's
many characters that you're not gonna.
right. Well, that's one of the things that on I haven't watched like tons of these, and he has like so many freaking videos. He's got like videos for like months to watch, basically. But Sakurai's and his like development series, but that's like one of the I think that like making games within games I think was an episode he did, and I think that was like one of the examples that he mentioned was like in Smash Brothers you can just like we created all these different options, and so it's like it's good for developers to give a plentiful amount of things for the first player to do to make their own fun out of it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's one of my favorite things
so,
in games in general to do that. I would go into certain Call of Duty modes with my friend, and we would do our own thing. Like you can set it to one life. We would have our fun like trying to survive against as many bots as possible, stuff like that. Mario
Knives and
Kart.
Knives and Hatchets is like I remember playing Call
Oh
of
yeah,
Duty Online. That was one of my I like that mode a lot, and then Gun Game was always really fun too.
gun game.
Just like you cycle through
Yeah,
all the weapons in the whole game, and then
yeah.
ending with the tactical knife that shoots out. Super
hmm
fun.
Mario Kart. I was glad when they finally updated it to make it so you could customize all the items. They hadn't done that for the longest time. They finally made an update at some point. I still haven't really gotten enough use out of it, but you could actually go and just like Smash Bros and customize which items are on and off. Because in the beginning of Mario Kart 8, it was just like you could do bananas only, green shells and red shells only. It's like, okay,
Yeah, shells only. Yeah.
but it's not, doesn't really work very well. But it's cool when you can customize. It's always nice. All right. And then I also snuck in somewhere along the way a reaction to Lisi's music video for Tidy Whitey's.
I've shared this with a couple different people, and,
Really?
and it's gotten my friend Josh, it's gotten some. He was just like, I don't remember. I don't want to look it up. What exactly he said about
Tidy
it.
Whitey's
He said,
little
"Wow,
boy.
what Tidy Whitey's little boy."
You fucked in an elevator. Have you fucked with a vibrator? It's like,
Oh, he just said she thought she was killing it. A modern Eminem 10 years ago.
Dude, and we kind of half listened to the rest of her thing, and it just gets worse. Like that one's at least funny to listen to. The other ones are just like grating.
I would say that one was probably the best of the bunch, which is horrible to say.
Some of the other ones are just like produced awfully. Like they're just like horrible to the ear, straight up.
Yeah.
But one day maybe we'll revisit for a full review on Lisi's EP or album, whatever it is. It's interesting. I guess I'll point it out along the way, but there are a couple like Survivor people who've gone on to do music in to varying degrees of success. But
I would say that's not tremendously successful.
No. I think that's about as far as it went for her.
Yeah. Well, understandably, when you're singing a song
I don't
called
know
Tidy
if she's
Whities.
serious though. Is it like a weird comedic attempt? I don't know. If so, I respect it more.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with her. Yeah.
So then our last day was all Survivor, right? Up until our last part. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. We watched Survivor basically the whole day. I think we fit in our review of. Well, that's when we fit in our review of Survivor, and we.
No, that was on the second. Oh yeah, we did kind of skim over that. That was on the second day, right?
Yeah. Well, no, because first day, we watched the movie. Second day, that's when we played Survivor.
Oh.
And then.
So we reviewed both of them on the third day. We reviewed Mission Impossible and.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Let me look. Actually, I have it here. I have the video.
Well, I think we might have reviewed Mission Impossible before that. I don't.
June 11th.
I don't remember. That would have been.
June 11th.
They're both June 11th.
Yep. Was that?
Yeah. So that was Tuesday. Yeah. So that would have been the second day or the third day rather.
Which one is it? It's the third day.
Well, it's confusing because if you count Sunday as the first day, then Monday's the second day, and then Tuesday's the third day.
Yeah, so it's the third day. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the third day we did all Survivor except for those two short reviews, the Mission Impossible review and Survivor review.
We just did those those are the first things we did basically. We just were like, let's do those, and then we'll just watch Survivor the whole rest of the day.
And so I mean, we're gonna watch more Survivor soon. Right after this, we'll watch another episode at least. But what do you think of your 9-episode marathon experience so far?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot to process. It's been a lot to digest. I don't know. I mean, there's ebbs and flows, and it was kind of feeling like almost a cursed season. There's parts of it that still do feel a little cursed, like almost like All Stars was cursed in a lot of ways. So that's been kind of weird, but it's been fun seeing, as it's gone on, seeing what strategies have been coming into play, who's making deals with who, and interpersonal dynamics has been very interesting this time around, for sure. So, I've been enjoying it for what it is. I've been really enjoying it, but
I think it's
it's been
really fun. Yeah,
it's very fun. Yeah, it's been weird in a lot of ways, but it's still been fun.
I mean, even like with Penner being gone, we still got so much gold out of him in the season. Like,
Oh, we got a lot of gold. Yeah.
he's like so much. For some reason, feels so much more lovable after the season. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, there's still a lot more left to see, and we'll see from here. But then that's essentially everything. Everything we did in those 3 days. You know, we got a lot.
Except
for
for
the last thing, yeah.
one thing. We actually played with our Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it was probably a good thing we didn't do any recording with any of that.
It's hard to because you got smoked. Oh.
Well, I think I beat you once, but no, it would have been it's tough because like, well, I'd never really played before, so I was just sort of having to kind of wing it. Zach kind of gave me the rundown, and then I was pretty much more or less ready to go from there. It's not the most. It's both like a really simple game and also a ridiculously complicated game at the same time. So, and I mean, adding to the extra complexity is the goofy rules in a lot of our cards. So,
and he already prefaced it by saying, you know, he's not perfectly balanced. It's as balanced as he could have, minus those things. Like he based the monsters themselves on pre-existing ones in older decks. So like all the attacks and defenses of each of the ones in the decks are theoretically balanced in that way. But then all the other cards, how they interact, aren't exactly with the different rules and whatnot. There was someone where it would be like you can take a card from the deck and that card's not actually in that deck, so you have to I didn't know that ahead of time, so
yeah, so I was like, okay, well,
it was like
can't do that.
Search your deck for an Alligator Loki card, and I was searching and searching, it never came.
Don't have it. Doesn't have it in there.
But it would be cool to be able to customize decks and stuff. It's just not. My brother set us up with all the decks together, which was really convenient. But yeah, obviously it's not time or feasible to make custom decks there, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, because deck building, as we sort of talked about, like deck building would actually be like really difficult because in order to properly deck build, you need duplicate cards, which we don't really have any of. So you can't really do that. The only exception to that would be like in the Harry Potter decks, where we have duplicates of. They're the same. They're ultimately like the same characters. They just have a different like image and stuff on them. That would be like the only exception I can think of. But yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, I had a really good time, honestly. Yeah, it was fun to see a lot of the stuff just show up, and yeah, it was fun. I was pretty much done with it during our last round because our last round. We went through literally every single card in the deck because basically what just happened is that Zach had something that completely stonewalled me, so there was pretty much nothing I could do. And just, there just wasn't a whole lot I could do.
But then you got it on your side, and then you fumbled. You sacrificed it, and I was able to use my card to take it, that monster you just sacrificed.
I hated that. I hated it. I was like, all right.
I mean, if you had kept that card, I would have been toast. I mean, you had all these high level monsters on your little field.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't. It wouldn't have felt good to win that. That didn't feel good.
But all you needed was fun. 1 or 2 more rounds. You probably would have obliterated me with like tons of life damage to my life points.
Well, the thing, the thing is like I had a bunch of high level cards, like, or they were all like really good, so you couldn't even attack me really. So that was sort of the whole problem.
But once I got that green slime card on my side of the field, it actually disincentivized me from using any of my stronger monsters. So yeah, we just had these growing decks in our hand of tons of cards. I had all the strongest monsters in my deck there. And I was not using them because I'd have to sacrifice the one thing keeping me alive. So it's like,
so why would you ever do that? Yeah,
it's like one of those twists thrown in the game that actually damages the game type of thing. It would be, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you form the decks. If there's more cards that can take it out without the stipulation and everything. But yeah, overall it was fun though.
Yeah, it was fun actually getting to like play with the cards for the first time.
And
That was just really
I still gotta get a
kind of
bigger
wacky.
binder so I can put them all in there, all my cards, because I need more of those card sheets, and I probably need a bigger binder at this point. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that same thing too. I need to get some card sheets and throw
I
them all
like
in a
having them
binder.
all in there.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
good way to hold things. So,
but oh yeah, and then the as we left, once we left the Airbnb on our way home, we made sure to stop at two local game stores, uh, which
yeah.
was something we had in mind going into it. Initially, we were thinking like maybe the second day we would do it, but then I was like, it just makes more sense if we would just do it on the way out, so we have more time.
I'm very glad that we did decide to do that because we
Yeah,
spent a lot of
we
time in
did.
those stores. So,
Would have got
um,
nothing done otherwise.
pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, there was the one we were that immediately drew our attention was Game Exchange, because we've heard so many videos in the past, and like the gaming community of people going to game exchanges and whatnot. I've never had any
Yeah.
near me, so
Yeah, I'd never been in one either. They are a national brand, so but I definitely had heard of them. They talked about them on Game Chasers a really long time ago, and
hmm
yeah, I definitely heard of other people talk about Game Exchange. So it was fun to get to go into one. It wasn't like selection was, selection is almost always much to be desired when it comes to a lot of because the unfortunate thing is retro game collecting is not what it used to be. And by that I mean the secret's been out for a good 10 years now.
right.
So everything's got picked clean pretty much. I mean, to the point where it's like you can't find anything that's like worth anything or like in terms of like monetary value, you can't really find like rare stuff or um a GameCube.
Yeah,
What is
rareware.
GameCube?
It's hard to come by.
Rareware. No, just like yeah, anything that's sort of valuable in that way. It's always they know what they're doing. Most game shops know what's up
All
these
right,
days. So,
all right. Well, it was
but
night and day
but
for me from where my stores to this is like is
oh oh it's I what I'm saying. I'm just giving some context. I like it was still I had a blast. I had an amazing time.
I mean, we
I
walked
mean,
away
as
with
you can see from
stacks.
my
Yeah.
yeah, I got stacks. I got stacks on stacks, and I had a great time. So, yeah,
Yeah, there was no and they were all it was like pretty good prices, I feel like. There was a lot of very affordable
yeah,
games.
it was all pretty reasonable, I would say. Agreed.
And but yeah, of course, my big thing is I love collecting GameCube games. I want pretty much any GameCube games I don't have, I try to get if I can. And they had like no GameCube games. Like, and we went to another game store. There's no GameCube games. I guess I just can't. I just can't do it because
Yeah,
they'll get freaking walls of Xbox, PlayStation 2, everything else. But GameCube, too much to ask for, I guess.
PS2's PS2 is a really collectible console as well because there's just so many games for that
Oh
thing.
yeah,
But the GameCube has a smaller library and it's just more desirable because it's got that Nintendo on it. You know,
please,
so
oh
everyone
please, folks.
resellers and flippers, man, they hog up the whole. They just take pretty much buy out all the selection. So that's why you don't find any. Like it's the same with my locals too. Back even in 2016, my local like used game store, kind of like this, they used to have a lot of GameCube games, but they really don't anymore. I think that guy's trying to get out of the business now. Stuff going on in his personal life and everything, and I think he's gonna be trying to get rid of everything. But he's had GameCube is always like low stock. Basically, anytime he gets anything in, it's gone
Crazy.
immediately. So
But I do like collecting Wii games. I mean, I like collecting a lot, but I like Wii games as
yeah,
well. I ended up primarily with a lot of like jank and like licensed games. That's where I went.
jank license, jank license stuff is always going to be affordable. That's the best. And if you can find fun in it, then that's you're golden. Even if it's just for like an afternoon or a couple or even an
Oh
hour,
yeah,
it's like cool.
there's yeah. I got so many, especially on the Wii. I think the large majority of what I got was on the Wii. Ironically, like the couple games I put back were like the actual decent games, but they're like obviously more expensive in comparison. But I put back
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy 13 and Dying Light. You know, those are the two I couldn't go that far. You know, I had to make room for Cars 2, Kung Fu Panda. You know, these are the ones I had to make room for. Some very weird ones I had never heard of too. But yeah, like you can see on the video, we didn't film it all in the stores, but we showed off all our haul. You got a ton of stuff though. You got
I got a lot of.
like I got a
too
lot of
much. I
stuff.
get
If
to really
people
get
saw
too
how much stuff I
Yeah.
got, they'd be like, "That's too much." But you haven't
Yeah.
seen his stacks.
Yeah, I might add way too much, honestly. But filling out a little bit of my some of the gaps in my back catalog. So the Assassin's Creeds and the Gears of Wars and such.
But I mean, it's like
out.
we don't get to do that kind of like I don't get to do that at least near me. There's no game
Yeah.
stores I can go in at any moment and just grab a ton of games. Like so, it's not like I make the most of it for this. I won't be here often.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of
prices
fun.
were pretty reasonable.
It was a lot
really
of fun
a lot
just
of fun.
going through it all too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we get to kind of like go through stuff and kind of laugh and have a good time. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And that's our trip though. That's our trip.
Yeah, it's about it in a nutshell, really. So
It was a lot of fun. Obviously,
good times.
we made the most of it for sure. In an ideal world, we never have enough time, but in an ideal world, we would have been able to either finish the whole season, do more videos. I remember initially going into it, we wanted to do something else, like an escape room or something, We didn't really have time for anything like that. But
Right.
it's tough. It was limited time.
Oh, we get to sample a local donut place too. I don't know how local. I don't know if Donut Crazy
Donut
is like
Crazy.
a brand, like a big brand. But it was pretty good. Pretty good donuts.
Yeah. I was not healthy eating during that.
No,
that
I
trip.
didn't. Not so much.
It was just like DoorDash. I like did all of it through delivery. I didn't pick up not one thing on my own. I'm not leaving these premises.
We didn't need to. We didn't have to, and we didn't have to. So we didn't need to. There you go. Circular reasoning, folks.
Yeah.
So.
But it was a lot of fun. I guess in a normal podcast episode, we would talk about all the videos we did the last month, and then give our highlight. Do you have a specific video highlight from the whole experience?
On the whole trip, I mean, I think honestly, like the pop, the Todd's pop thing, that was like the coolest thing in the world. That was a legitimate surprise. So like it was something that came out of nowhere. I was even introing it. Like
Tarqaron
excited
All-Stars,
about getting into Tarqaron All Stars, and you're like, yeah, sure, but before that, so yeah, that was a big highlight for me.
Yeah, it was great just watching the first episode of Survivor. I mean, great. That was a great time. I felt like Tarqaron All Stars was a lot of fun too. But
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
what would be the ultimate highlight? I'll say Tidy Whitey's fucked in your mouth. Final answer.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah, that was a pretty big highlight.
What was it? Fucked? Have you fucked in your mouth? Isn't that what she said?
Yes, that's yeah.
So like
that is one of
poetic
the lines.
almost. It makes you think.
Just make you think a lot.
Have
It's
I
like,
ever fucked in
have
my
I ever
mouth?
done that in my mouth? What it
So it's just thought provoking.
had an orifice up to your wrist, I don't know if I ever have. That's an interesting question.
Yo. It's so good. We should do a dramatic
Said
lyric
something.
reading of Tidy Whitey's.
Tidy Whitey's.
It makes
Tidy
sense.
Whitey's,
Why
little
is Tidy Whitey's the hook? What does that have to do with Tidy Whitey's? Little boy.
Because it's like it's saying that it's saying that you're like inexperienced. You just like get a little Tidy Whitey's on. You're a little loser. He's a little limp.
Yeah, but then at the end,
like
I don't know if she assuming we said no to all of that, because then she just says,
Yeah.
well, fuck you then. She
Yeah. What
just
if we
throws that
said
in at
yes
the
to all of
end.
it? What if we
Well,
said that? What if we said yes to all that?
yeah. That's why it's very mixed messages I'm getting out of it.
If
But
you're used and abused.
if you're used and abused. Yeah.
That was the worst.
It
That's
hits.
that one. That's the part of it that I can't get out of my head. I hate that. It's like the worst part. That's
Tiny Whitey's
it's so
little
horrible.
boy. She, and then it just you hear the boom, boom, boom,
Mhm. It's so horrible. It's
Who's
like
the
I could make a better beat
producer,
than that.
baby? I gotta
I don't know.
know.
I could make a better beat than that. I'll tell you that right now.
Heat, straight heat.
Boop. Beep, beep.
And some of the other songs on the EP, it's just like grating noises. Like I don't know them as well, but you know, if you hear them, it's just like God, it's awful. It's like nails on the chalkboard type beat.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty horrible. It was pretty atrocious. Yeah.
All right, well,
So
I know this is months later at this point. Unfortunately, we don't have your comments from pretty most of our videos that we talked about yet at this point because
yeah.
they haven't been posted.
Not yet.
But I'll read the couple ones. So yeah, on our Survivor China review, Random Rex 6, he ranked the season's best worst and winner's best worst as they tend to do. They come in.
Awesome.
So he has China number 1.
Ooh.
Pearl
Wow, okay.
Islands, Vanuatu, Cook Islands, Borneo, Panama, Amazon, Africa, Australia, Palau, Guatemala, All Stars, Marquesas, Fiji, Thailand. And then winners, Todd, number 1.
Todd number 1. All right.
Chris, Rich, Yule, Sandra, Tom, Tina, Vesepia, Ethan, Earl, Brian, Danny, Amber, Aris, Jenna. Okay. So, right up at the top, both of them.
Yeah. How about that?
And then Chase Ferrier came in with his rankings and whatnot. He gave his favorite of the season. He says James. And his
Nice. He's a good guy.
his cutie of the season is Amanda. All right, shout
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Got out.
Season rankings: number 1, All Stars, still holding it down up there. Number 2, Pearl Islands. Number 3, the Amazon, Borneo, Palau, China. Number 6, Vanuatu, Panama, Cook Islands, Australian Outback, Marquesas, Africa, Guatemala, Fiji, Thailand. And then the winners, you got Richard, Brian, Tom, Earl, Todd, number 5, Chris, Yule, Vesepia, Tina, Sandra, Aris, Ethan, Danny, Amber, Jenna. He's got the same rhythm as us at the end.
Aris, Danny, Amber, Jenna.
Aris, Ethan, Danny, Amber, Jenna sounds familiar. You know,
Yeah.
at least the bottom 3. But okay, so he's closer to ours, but obviously that All Stars is really it continues to be the outlier on that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah.
But,
I think my friend Kaylee really likes All Stars a lot.
Really?
But yeah, she's mentioned that in the past, is really liking it. Like it's super. Like she's like it's a cursed season, but she loves it.
I mean,
So-
yeah, you gotta. I always appreciated the heaviness of it, and like how real,
Yeah.
how raw those emotions are. People are that
Yeah.
salty about it, you know.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
end, like those aspects. But yeah, it's the stuff, just the other stuff that makes it not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting. Random Rex with China and Todd at the top. I'm still like, I would consider Todd very, very possibly number 1, anywhere from number 1, number 4. You know.
Yeah. For sure.
And my brother, Krillin Ball Z, commented on our Chance Time spin for May 2024.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
He said, if Old Yeller ever ends up randomly being put on another wheel spin, I say that whether the wheel decides it or not, it should earn the right to be reviewed alongside the wheel's choice just for being selected as a candidate 3 times out of all the movies that exist on these streaming platforms.
That's right. It has. I knew it was more than. I knew we'd been on before, but I didn't realize that was the 3rd time it had been randomly
he's
selected.
saying if it does it again, it'll be 3 times.
Oh, if it does it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's saying if it comes up again, then it should just persist.
I kind of agree. But that's like literally never going to happen with anything else. But it is kind of interesting that showed up again. That has shown up
Yeah.
multiple times. Good old Yeller.
So, and then our last comment is from Dubs on our surprising Alec with a pop from Survivor winner Todd Herzog. That one has been posted at this point. He said, "I'm a simple man. I see genuinely happy Alec in the thumbnail, and I click. Congratulations to you both on 5 years."
He's a good friend. So
that's so nice. You just whenever you see your friend happy, you just gotta click on it. You know,
that's the most wholesome thing. That's wonderful. Thanks. That is extremely wholesome. He's happy.
Next comment is like, whenever I see him upset, I do not click on the video. It's just like.
So that's gonna include the VTuber ones because I'm doing like a.
He's like,
I've got like that, the face I can't replicate. I'm like, or something like that. It's like I have like one of the best faces on that one. I was like, cool, you really did me dirty on that one.
It's like the old box art battles with Pestro, where he didn't want to see Ellie sad in the Last of Us.
Yeah, I don't want to see her.
You know, I won't even engage with it. They look sad. I don't want any part of it. I don't want to encourage that behavior either.
You should smile more, you know?
He only watches. Imagine you only watch the videos that you are happy in the thumbnail. He's like, am I going to get to watch this one today? No.
Alex not happy in that one. In fact, Alex not even in that thumbnail. I can't watch it. He's in.
Yes. All right, well, I guess that's it for this little special episode of the Tarqaron podcast.
Good stuff.
All right, hope you enjoyed us just talking about the experience. Hopefully we could get to do it again someday.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about
we should try to.
I thought about we could fly somewhere to not have to deal with the driving, but then I also thought I don't like to have to bring my laptops. I always nervous about bringing my expensive stuff on a plane, but
yeah,
you know. But
bringing your carry-ons then. That's the case.
Yeah.
We could fly out, or we can invite ourselves out to see Rusty. We'll go fly out to Ohio. Be like, Rusty, look, you're raising a kid. Let's come visit you.
Here we are.
I'm sure Lauren would highly appreciate that.
I always said we should just show up unannounced. You know, sure they'll appreciate
just
it.
Be like, hey, what's up? What's good?
It's at the door. Delivery.
Yeah, delivery.
Surprise.
Tarqaron's here.
Just have all of our belongings just fully expecting to be housed.
Get a I like how we have rucksacks. Yeah, we just got here we are.
Like a freaking sleeping mat and whatnot. Just all right. That's it. All right. Thank you for joining us for the Tarqaron podcast. Stay tuned. In due time, we will get back to the swing of things whenever possible. But we've been taking, you're seeing this after the fact, but while we're recording this, we're taking a semi break, as we're uploading all the content from that time. So it's just kind of whenever we get the chance, whenever we feel it. But yeah, thank you. Take care of yourself.